the Apostle Paul, this is me, not the Lord. But hopefully the Lord will even use that as he used the Apostle Paul. So if you will, if you'll attend to the reading of the scriptures. Now the Lord said to Abram, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. So Abram went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. Abram took his wife Sarai and his brother's son Lot and all the possessions that they had gathered and the persons whom they had acquired in Haran, and they set forth to go to the land of Canaan. When they had come to the land of Canaan, Abram passed through the land to the place of Shechem, to the oak of Moreh, and at that time the Canaanites were in the land. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, to your offspring I will give this land. So he built there an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. And I'll stop there. There's just so many things in that passage that I want you to take note of. But the phrase that keeps sticking in my mind, and I can't get out of my mind, is this very small phrase that we just might overlook. These very few words. And Lot went with him. And Lot went with him. And I thought to myself, why can't I get this out? Is it because Lot's his nephew and my nephew recently came and showed up and I have my nephew in my own life? You know, as a minister, you wrestle with these things. Is this something just for me personally? And then I began to read the story about Lot. And then I read that passage again and again, and I realized a few things. First of all, Terah, Abram's father, was a pagan. Terah was someone we would call a pagan. He was not a worshiper of Yahweh. He was not a worshiper of the God of Israel. Israel didn't even exist at this time as a nation. But Terah wasn't that type of person. So God calls Abram the son of Terah. We don't know why God chose Abram. We don't have any indication in the text. But we do know God told Abram, he said, get out of that country and get away from your kindred. That's the interesting phrase. He told Abram, get away from your kindred. I'm going to do all of these great blessings for you, but get away. But Abram took one part, and Lot went with him. So if you'll notice in your bulletins, I had written down, bad things happen to good people. Because that's the question we often ask ourselves as Christians. It's a question we often get asked by non-believers. It's a question we often hear, why do bad things happen to good people? Anybody ever heard that question? We hear it all the time. Well, I want to turn that question on its ear. Why do good things happen to bad people? Why do good things happen to bad people? We don't often ask that question. You see, because here's the problem. When we talk about good and we talk about evil, we presuppose one thing, that there's justice. That there is justice in the world. When we talk about good and evil, we presuppose that there is a right and there is a wrong. And so there has to be some standard for the world for us to say that. The most downright, non-believing atheist I've ever met, love this person, but has a strong sense of what's right and what's wrong. And why do we have that sense of right and wrong? I believe, of course, as a believer, as a Christian, that we get these sense of right and wrong from God. That's where it originates. It's not just something that just popped up out of nowhere. But why is there evil in the world? I want us to ask the question, at the same time we're asking, why is there evil in the world? I want us why is there good in the world? Because if this all was just random chance, if this was all just something that happened, evil or good would have no meaning. Now, the first answer that a Christian wants to give to the problem of evil, many Christians will give, the devil. You'll hear them say it, the devil. This has always been the response. There's evil in the world because there is a devil. There is a Satan. Interestingly enough, within Christian history, for the most part, that's never been the Christian answer. The Christian answer has never been, the devil made me do it. The Christian answer has never been, there's evil in the world because there's a devil. That's not the Christian answer. Because you see, when you attribute to the devil or any other being that level of power, you are giving that being a power to rival God. Of course, the next reason we also often give why there is evil in the world is sin. We say original sin. You know, Adam's sin in the garden, Adam's disobedience was passed on to everyone. And because of this, there's evil in the world. And I believe that begins to touch on the problem, but that doesn't answer the whole problem. So I'm going to give you my answer again. This is me, not the Lord. Human arrogance is the reason I believe there is much evil in the world.